welcome back. We are going to do a Tallarn mission today. Jeff's going to take us through his army.
Okay, first thing I have is a Legions Astartes tank company formation. I have a tank commander and a Kratos, 3 Kratos. As you see, this is 2 separate Sakaran Arcus, a Predator detachment, all las cannons. Oh, and everything is what you see is what you get, all las cannons. I have the 2 Fire Raptors, all las cannons. And then this is the formation from the same name of it.
The Devastation of Tallarn.
Yeah, the Alpha Legion formation from the Tallarn book. And then I have 2 you say these guys?
Castus Knights.
Castus Knights, las cannons, and then the Iron Storm missile.
Yep.
Like I say, pretty much everything is what you see is what you get. These are the sabers, and these are probably the least lesser of the 2 variants, but it's what's in the formation. You have to use what's in the formation. All my Land Raiders have las cannons, and then all the troops are plasma, and that's pretty much it. That's my army for this game.
Cool. Okay. So let's take a look at the Solar Auxilia real quick. I am also going to take a formation of legend today. This is the Carmine Ambush Tercio. So it's 3 detachments of Leman Russ, 1 armed with Vanquisher, 1 with las cannons, and the other with the Plasma Executioner. And then we've got 2 detachments of 4 Ethon Heavy Sentinels in the back. And then moving on to the next formation, this is a Solar Auxilia Armored Company. We have 2 Stormblades in the front, 1 detachment of 8 Leman Russ Vanquishers, 1 with battle cannons, 3 Malcadors, all las cannons with heavy bolters in the hull, and then a Lightning Fighter for air support. The next formation is another armored company. We've got 2 Baneblades, 4 Leman Russ Demolishers, and 4 Leman Russ Executioners with the autocannon.
Or is it Exterminators?
Exterminators with the autocannon, yeah. And then another Lightning Strike Fighter. Both of the Strike Fighters are armed with las cannons and a mix of Sky Strike and Hell Strike missiles.
Oh, one thing that we forgot to mention was for our Tallarn formations, their special rules. So I'm not sure you had.
Oh, yes. So everything in this formation gets Scout and Forward Deploy. So Forward Deploy, and Scout is +1 to cover saves.
And then everything here gets Scout and Outflank, with the addition of the Alpha Legion rules.
Awesome. Okay, so those are the army lists. We're going to get set up, and we'll check back in with you in a minute. Right, so here we are after deployment and forward deployment and infiltrate. We are in close contact already, as you can see. Jeff, do you want to take us through what you did?
It's going to be an early game bloodbath, which is cool because it'll go fast. But yeah, I had some infiltrators over here, so I managed to get some control in the other quarters. And then I forward deployed my Kratos, these guys, and the Land Raiders, because they automatically get that in their rule. The Proteus Land Raiders get that. Predators didn't do anything. These guys didn't do anything yet. So pretty much that's my deployment. I'm just going to try to envelop you.
And then let's not forget
outflankers on turn 2 coming in.
Outflank.
Except the troops over there, just the tank, just the armor, and then 2 flyers, of course.
So for the Solar Auxilia, I've got my flanks covered by the Ethon Heavy Sentinels. And then we got the Demolisher Leman Russ here, backed up by the Malcadors, and then just tanks. The Ambush Tercio, I tried to put in terrain to make the best use that I can of their cover save, their Scout special rule. And so we are playing the Armored Spearhead mission. So we are trying to break into the opponent's deployment zone. So that's our setup. We're going to get through the first turn, and we'll check in with you after movement. All right, here we are at the end of turn 1 movement. And a lot of shifting on the Solar Auxilia line. We just kind of moved up into the cover, kind of coming online to provide some good fire on the Alpha Legion forces here.
Fire. Okay.
Jeff, you pretty much were on first fire, right? Didn't have too much movement.
Well, my infiltrators early on gave me some table quarter control. I took advantage of that. And yes, I put a lot of things on first fire. And yeah.
So I think the only thing you moved was your Kratos over here.
Kratos and the Predators.
Okay.
And I guess I can't move my guys out of the Land Raiders. I don't understand that rule, but I guess I'll have to give them a move next time if they live.
Okay.
A lot of gunfire this next round.
All right, we're going to do combat, and we'll check in with you after that. This is the end of turn 1 combat. You can see we had a pretty bloody turn by all the smoke on the board. My Vanquisher squadron got completely wiped out. Took a bunch of casualties over here in the ambush formation. The cover save bonus from Scout I don't think really helped too much. I guess maybe just for a heavier, probably it needs to be in obstructing terrain to really get any kind of benefit from that, just because of the high armor save on the Leman Russ. Let's see, these Sakaran Arcus really pulled their weight this turn, I think, Jeff, with that 2 dice AP -2 is pretty killer.
You did manage to kill that unit over there.
We did get those guys, but they did some pretty good damage.
They did some damage.
And then I did manage to take out one of the knights here. And did I even put a wound? I put 2 wounds on the other one?
The other one, yeah, and I failed both of the blessed auto simularca.
Yeah.
I said that, pronounced that correctly.
So, anyway, I think the turn, I don't know, I'd say about even.
Yeah, I think what helped me out a lot is a lot of first fires.
Yeah, that was, I think I misplayed that. I think putting more of my guys on first fire would have been better.
Yeah.
I was just afraid of you charging in, honestly, and pinning my vehicles in place. But I guess that's just an instinct from playing against all those dreadnoughts. So one thing I do have to worry about is your outflank formation coming in next turn. So that'll be coming in, I think, somewhere over here or over here. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to tally up victory points, and we'll check in with you. Or, Jeff, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Nope.
Okay. We'll check in at the end of movement, turn 2. All right, here we are at the end of movement, turn 2. Had quite a bit of excitement here with the outflankers coming on for the Alpha Legion, the Sakaran Punishers, and Saber tanks coming in on the right here, and then more of the Punisher tanks coming in on the left. Had a little bit of exchange of fire on point defense over here with a group of Legionnaires dismounting from the Land Raiders and assaulting the Stormblades, which fell back, fired point defense, and then I brought up the Leman Russ, and their point defense fire was enough to finish them off. Unfortunately, over here, I did not move my Leman Russ back enough, and Jeff was able to bring his Legionnaires in to make a successful charge against them. Let's see. I think that's it, Jeff. Anything else?
Just mostly that. I guess I gave you a free point right there. I should have garrisoned them, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. Just pretty much out trying to pincer you. Yeah, he did shoot my aircraft with his aircraft and.
Yeah, on intercept. Yeah, but that didn't come to anything.
Yeah, just losing that, giving him the freebie beginning is pretty brutal. But we'll see what happens in the shooting phase. It's going to be interesting. The combat phase is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, so we'll check in with you at the end of combat turn 2. All right, so here we are at the end of combat, at the end of the turn, turn 2. pretty deadly turn. No more Demolisher Squadron. Jeff knocked one of my Lightning Fighters out of the sky with his Sakaran Punishers. Let's see what else. I lost my Stormblades. And then he picked off a few of the tanks over here. So I don't really know if I did anything to you, actually. I killed your other knight, but I think that's about it. So it's going to be a tough turn 3. And we'll check in. Jeff, any comments?
As my dice are on fire, I rolled a lot of successful saves and a lot of successful hits. So it really, and that is a huge thing in this game, is my die rolls were really, really, really good. I did have a lot of accurate fire with the last cannons on the Land Raiders and whatnot, but yeah, I did have a lot of really good die rolls. I think really helped me.
So we'll check in with you at the end of movement, turn 3. Okay, so this is the end of movement, turn 3.
Turn 3.
Kind of circling the wagons here for the Solar Auxilia. Getting hemmed in from all sides here. Jeff pulled a Master Tactician move with these Kratos tanks, which was pretty neat. Do you want to show them kind of where they were, Jeff? They were
back over here.
Yeah.
They had a first fire. He pulled these guys back, but since I put the command tank in with this unit, I flipped the order to advance.
Yep.
I was able to maneuver over here so I can get a shot off at these Malkadors.
Yeah, so we've got the Leman Russ here and over here. So this is kind of down to the wire. So we're going to do combat, and we'll check in with you at the end of that phase. All right, so this is the end of turn 3. We've run out of smoke again, so I'm going to need to make some more. Let's see. Jeff destroyed this Malkador squadron, and then I knocked out, I think, these 3 Sakarans with the lightning, right, Jeff?
Yep.
And then these Kratos took out these Malkador. And then over here, the Vanquishers put some fire into the Arcus, killed 2 of them.
3 of them.
Or 2 of them, and then the Executioners killed 1, I think.
And then he fell back.
Fell back over there.
But he regrouped.
We got a lone Executioner hanging out here, holding the gap between these burning wrecks. And these Sakarans put a bunch of fire into the rear of these Leman Russ and took out 3 of them. And so we are running low on armored vehicles for the Solar Auxilia. The Alpha Legion is closing in on all sides here. So we're going to see what happens in the next turn, and we'll check in with you at the end of movement, turn 4. All right, end of movement, turn 4. Solar Auxilia forming a final defensive line. Alpha Legion closing in on every front. So not much to say about this. We're going to do combat, and then we'll check back in and show you the results. All right, so here we are at the end of turn 4. Not too much to report. The Leman Rush Vanquishers did knock out that Arcus squadron right here. Really not, let's see, yeah. Took 2 casualties in the Leman Rush detachment here from those Land Raiders right there. Kratos moved up, fired, or did not fire because they flipped their order.
They flipped their order.
Yeah.
So they get in your deployment.
And then I lost these 3 exterminators due to fire from the gunships, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. I really fought it to the last, but I only have 6 tanks left, so I might be able to do a few more casualties. Jeff's gonna get the secondary, or the victory point condition for this particular mission because he killed more detachments than I did for this turn. So he's going to be at 12. I'm going to be at 0 for the primary objectives. He's definitely got more armored detachments in my deployment zone, so he's going to score the main victory objective there, and then I'm sure he's also going to get the secondary objective for destroying, I think it's 65% of my force as well. So we'll tally that up. But we're gonna go ahead and call it there. Jeff, good game. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And why don't we do just a little bit of a wrap up? Actually, Jeff, do you have any thoughts about the mission or?
I rolled exceptionally well this game, so I had a lot of good, really, really good die rolls early on and throughout. Seemed like throughout the game. So, aside from accurate, but yeah, that's pretty much. I just pictured the having that Alpha Legion ability at the beginning of the game to infiltrate tanks, which I hope GW changes one day. Even though I'm an Alpha Legion player, I'd like to see it change. It seems a little broken. Yeah, it's pretty much my wrap up.
Okay. Any thoughts about just the Tallarn mission in general? It's
a simple mission. It's more. I think you place maybe a little more emphasis on a secondary than you normally do. But, yeah. For a fun game, for just, I don't know if I'd play it competitively. I'd play it. I like it for fun, but Armor seems to do well.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to get all the tanks out on the table and not have to worry too much about the infantry, I think.
Yeah. I probably had the only infantry. I had 2 units.
Yes. Yeah.
You managed to kill one early on. That's why this unit garrisoned quickly.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's nice to change it up. I think it's a good mission. It's more your style for objectives, which I think is good. I don't know. I think the forward deploy was pretty powerful. We already started close, and then being able to push forward really negated my advantage in terms of range. So yeah, I think it was a good game. Just a different style of mission. So yeah. Anyway, we'll close it out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.